Greetings. Sorry for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. This is our first out-of-office press conference in weeks. Thank you for your patience. And if something goes wrong with the technology while we're out here again, this is a first here for us. I want to thank you for joining me for this update on COVID-19. On the call today is Sheriff Mike Williams, Fire Chief Keith Powers, Emergency Operations Center Director Steve Woodard. I just want to make a couple of points about a couple of things. I want to talk for a moment about consumer confidence as it relates to healthcare. We have data that says a number of people have not been, when they have chest pains or any other number of issues that may require a transport or hospitalization, those calls are down. Elective surgeries that are necessary, that maybe were scheduled before all this, I want to just remind people that it's safe to go back, schedule, and to get those things done. Also just want to give a little bit of insight as we move into these phases of reopenings and kind of things we also dealt with when we first got into COVID-19. So decisions are made, there's no playbook for this. Decisions are made based on input from healthcare experts, physicians, economic experts, mental health experts. All the things, decisions that are being made then and now take into account all of those things and what's in the best public health of the entire population in the city of Jacksonville. And that's what we're going to continue to do. That's how we're going to continue to make those decisions. As you can probably tell, I'm not in City Hall for today's briefing. I'm at the main library downtown, where we are distributing $1,000 payment cards to citizens in need as part of our mortgage, rent, and utilities relief program. You'll see that I'm in a mask today. Every single person that comes into this building is required, both the recipient and the people working here are required to be in masks for the health and safety of people. Behind me is a dedicated team of city employees who have volunteered to come back to work to help their neighbors in need. As of this morning, we've distributed more than $14.5 million to help Jacksonville families pay their bills and stay in their homes. Why we're doing this is because of the virus and the shutdowns that came with it that brought unprecedented economic hardship to Jacksonville and families. So many of our citizens saw a reduction in pay and hours or lost employment altogether. And so many experienced growing concerns over whether to pay their bills or put food on the table. Our efforts have been successful, and I'm proud of the work the team has done. Let me read from an email I received this week from Robert, someone who came in for his appointment earlier this week. Dear Mayor Curry, I wanted to send you a note directly. I was one of the recipients of the $1,000 relief payment cards. I wanted to let you know that payment was much needed help in this time of economic uncertainty. The main reason for this email, though, is about the organization and the implementation of the program itself. The program worked. The website for appointments was easy to use, efficient. The processes and procedures downtown for the card pickup were laid out and ran smoothly. Thank you and your team for this effective program. Thank you for sharing, Robert, and thank you for your kind words about our hardworking team. It means a lot. This relief program is made possible by federal dollars from the CARES Act. I'm grateful for President Trump and his team for providing these funds to our community, and to my colleagues on City Council for their tremendous support. I'm also grateful for the members of my own team here. This effort was led by Stephanie Birch out of my office. She and so many others at City Hall set up the distribution sites and put on this amazing program so quickly and efficiently, so thank all of you. Over the past month or so, we've observed data from the Florida Department of Health that shows a decline in COVID-19's prevalence in our community. As those conditions have continued to improve, we have begun to slowly and cautiously reopen parts of our city and economy. It started with the reopening of our beaches weeks ago. Last week, with the cautious reopening of restaurants and retail stores, the reopening of barbershops and salons this week, and will continue next week with the rescinding of my work from home executive order. By pulling back that order, Jacksonville is fully aligned with the statewide executive orders from Governor DeSantis and his safe, smart plan to reopen Florida. I would remind people I still encourage you, if you can work from home, to do that. I'm in frequent conversations with the governor and will work hand in hand with his team to move Jacksonville into the next phase, into more reopenings as quickly as possible. I spoke to his team as recently as this morning. This morning I had a conversation with the Informal advisory group of business and health leaders that I announced in April. I continue to have discussions with this group to get ideas about how businesses, nonprofits can get back to business in a safe way. Testing is widely available. I want to thank the members of that group again and remind you, Daniel Davis, Nat Ford, Dr. Diana Green, Eric Green, Steve Halverson, Dr. Leon Haley, Dr. Matt Rill, Darnell Smith, Kent Sturman, Mark Van Lowe, and Jenny Vipperman. They also reached out to industry leaders across all sectors and have sought input as well. So we're getting best practices and sharing information so we can all work together to get back to work in a very safe way. As I stated earlier this week, my team continues to work with departments, constitutional officers, the courts, public safety officials, and others to lay out a clear pathway to reopen government in a safe and smart way. This is a gradual process and has not and will never be as simple as flipping a light switch when everyone in city government returns to work as normal. However, progress is being made. For example, my team worked with Jim Overton, Duval County tax collector, to start a smart phase reopening of tax collector branches around the city. They recently reopened the Hogan branch location on Beach Boulevard for appointments. Again, this will be a gradual process. Our teams will reach out to city employees to let them know when to come back to work. We'll have more information on this getting back to work in the days ahead as I continue to work with our governor. One key piece to moving forward is having quality data. In support of that, we're taking action to significantly enhance our testing capacity here in Duval County. Part of the CARES Act funding we receive from the federal government will go towards standing up additional testing sites in all corners of our community. As these locations and others become available to the public, we'll be sharing that information on the city website, coj.net/COVID testing. On a similar note, I have some good news to share from our homeless service providers. In partnership with the national nonprofit Community Solutions, our city was chosen by Quest Diagnostics as one of 2 cities in the country, which included Phoenix, Arizona, where all homeless individuals would be tested for COVID-19. A total of 679 tests were performed last week at Sulzbacher, Trinity Rescue Mission, Salvation Army, Clara White Mission, Hubbard House, the City Rescue Mission, and both urban rest stop locations. Every single test came back negative. I'm grateful for the collaboration from our service providers, Changing Homelessness, UF Health, and other partners who continue to do amazing work supporting individuals experiencing homelessness in our community, both during this crisis and beyond. Thank you all. Last night, UFC completed another amazing event at the Vi-Stark Veterans Memorial Arena. Because of our amazing collaboration with UFC and ASM Global, Jacksonville is leading the world on facilitating safe and responsible sports and entertainment events in a COVID-19 world. As a result of this success, I had conversation yesterday, again last night, with Dana White. We're grateful that they're here. He is grateful how well we in Jacksonville and the state has worked with him. And he is committed that when we come to a day where we have people back in arenas to bringing top-notch UFC fighting to Jacksonville, Florida. We look forward to that. In the meantime, we've demonstrated that Jacksonville and Florida can work with organizations that want to produce high-profile events in a safe and responsible way. And everything I've seen, and he shared it with me last night, everywhere Dana White goes, every talk he has, he says, you want to get back to sports in a safe way? Who's going to work with you? Jacksonville's going to work with you. The state of Florida is going to work with you. Before we go on to questions, a few reminders. Call somebody tonight at 7 o'clock, check in on them and see how they're doing, and share with them. Remember to make your mark and fill out the 2020 census. A full and accurate count is critical to ensuring our community gets the federal funding we deserve for our schools. For our schools, hospitals, roads, disaster recovery, and more. It's only 10 questions and takes less than 10 minutes. Go online at 2020census.gov to fill yours out. And of course, if you need help, there are many resources available. Please visit coj.net/recovery resources, where we continue to update information about social services, financial relief, mental health, trauma support, disaster loans, and more.